I wish that I knew the business side of it more. Even though the business has never been great, I wish growing up it was so many people that we looked up to that we wanted to be like a Diddy. But then you see what's going on in the news now, and then it's like this was happening that whole time that I was looking up to your ass. You was doing all this.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Breaking the Silence. I'm excited for this season because I know another load of amazing people are now on the platform again. So I'm so glad you're here. This is the place where courage meets conversation, where everyday heroes share their stories that change them, shape them, and push them to rise. Here, I celebrate strength, resilience, and the power of showing up for yourself and others. So tonight, I'm joined by the amazing artist, Angel Danielle, whose name carries weight, y'all, and so does her message. She is a rising hip hop and R&B force out of Columbia, South Carolina, blending rap and melody with purpose, balance, and truth. Much like Lauryn Hill, her sound feeds both the soul and the streets. From her track Bounce Back to what's coming next, she isn't just making music, y'all. She's delivering insight, elevation, and a reminder that growth can still groove. So after the countdown, please welcome this amazing artist to the platform.
Don't spread the real love with Netflix. Don't post it, tell me how you feel. It's about us, not a social reel. Keep it. Don't spread the mental with Netflix. Don't announce that, just cut the shit. Be on prime time, move to the next. Once upon a time, not too long ago, real love wasn't just portrayed in a video. It wasn't prideful to admit that you're a silly.
Hey. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
In this season, who is Angel Danielle becoming?
Angel Danielle is becoming a well-rounded artist, full-rounded artist, because I've learned so much, especially in the past like 5 to 10 years. I've gone through the artist development. I've learned a lot about myself as an artist. I've learned a lot about the industry, the business. So just the trial and errors. And I've gone through all of that. So the preparation that a lot of artists don't go through nowadays. They just want to jump out there and do it. So I'm in the season of being ready, like finally being ready. I've learned so much. I know what to do and what not to do. Of course, I'm still going to be learning because I'm not like deep into it yet. But I'm finally at a place where I'm ready.
So now, take me back to that moment when you fell in love with music and the mic in general, and what made you say, you know what, I think this is who I am?
Well, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I had seen Thriller by Michael Jackson. And I wasn't going to be allowed to watch it because my sisters always watched it. And I finally said, can I please watch it with y'all? It's not going to scare me. I just want to see what it is. Everybody's talking about Thriller. And that was my first experience, with my first time remembering the "You Better Not Tell on Me" from my sisters or else. So when I finally watched it, I said, oh, this is what I want to do. Even though it's Thriller, it's a movie. But I said, it's something about this that I love. And then after that, I saw the Jacksons movie, which is still my favorite movie to this day. All 5 hours of it.
All 5 hours.
All 5 hours of it. But just seeing that, I said, I really want to do this because I love what Michael is doing. It's just something about not just Michael, like the whole family, the Jacksons in general.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
always sang. I started out in the choir. Of course, it's not an option. You're going to choir rehearsal because I said so. But then it
Okay.
became more of a love, just loving being there because I love singing. I sang in school. I always was in the chorus. Always in a talent show if there was a talent show. I was in pageants in high school. I actually was the first Miss Freshman at Miss Blackwood when
Mm,
Blackwood opened, and I was the second Miss Sophomore. That's dope. I made history. But I didn't know I could rap until 2012 when I was working with a producer, and I love writing. And so I said, I've been writing these raps lately, so let me lay it down. Let's give it to another rapper. And so when I laid it down, he said, no, you doing this. And I said, no, I'm not. That's what I said, because I can't rap. But he said, no, it's something. I distinctly remember him saying, it's something about how you're rapping, even though you got to find your flow and everything. You got to get, your groove. It's just something about it. You need to be rapping too. So then, of course, like if I listen to my older music now, I'm like, oh shit, that's terrible. But now I'm in my flow. I've done a lot of performances. I've gone through a lot of, like I said, a lot of artist development. So just going through the years of training myself and not even understanding at the time that that's what I was doing, was I was actually developing as an artist throughout my whole life. Even though I wanted to jump into it, like how Beyonce started younger, how Michael started younger, I wanted to do it younger. God said, no, it wasn't the time. I need you to do this when you are in your early 30s for a reason. It's the reason for it, because I need you to cater to the youth. I don't need you to be in your 30s trying to be 18 and 19. You need to be that 30-year-old artist where other artists that are your age can say, finally, an artist that's our age is coming out with something that we really need. And at the same time, still being a role model to the youth in our communities. So, yeah, that's just a little bit.
But you know what? It's funny you say something about Michael Jackson and Prince. I mean, amazing artists. When I was coming up, those are the two artists that I really looked at. Nas, Michael, Prince, like they were just in it, like in it.
Yeah.
And the music industry in itself, to me, is different now versus back. Now versus back then, because when you make a song, then they stayed in for Motown. They stayed in the studio hours and hours recording on hand, and then they had people to vote to which one was the best song to go out before they even released it. But now we're in this microwave stage where we're just making music for the trends. We're not being authentic in what we're doing, and sex sells. That's all they want to do.
Yeah.
So now, looking at the music industry now versus then, what's something you wish you knew before you even entered the music industry?
I wish that I knew the business side of it more. Even though the business has never been great, I wish growing up it was so many people that we looked up to that we wanted to be like a Diddy. But then you see what's going on in the news now. And then it's like this was happening that whole time that I was looking up to your ass. You was doing all this. Yeah. But at the same time, when we say that, like I said, it's never, even before years, decades before that, the business has never been great. It's always been the top dog just needing to collect the money. And y'all just go and work and get my checks. You get my check. I don't know what check you gonna get. So it's just like learning that side of the industry has been really important, because you can pour your heart into it and then you could lose yourself because you're not understanding, well, this is not the way that you need to go about that, because that person that you're trying to work with is really trying to use you so that they can get the money off of you. Yeah, they doing X, Y, and Z for you, but at the end of the day, it's basically, what are you going to do for me? Because when it comes down to it, that's, if that is the question, then they were never there for you as far as them actually believing in you as an artist. So yeah, so it's just learning that business side of it has been very important. Very, very.
Now, being a woman in the industry, what kind of challenges have you faced being a woman in hip hop?
Oh, all the stories you hear are true. When it comes to certain producers, they want what they want. When it comes to the DJs, not all DJs, because there's a lot of DJs out there that really are like, hey, I'm gonna help you out, send me your song, you know. But then at the same time, I just, okay, so I'll give stories. So I've had some times when I was younger, starting out, especially as a rapper, where I would go to the DJ in the club. And of course, the DJ's flirting, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, hey, but I'm starting my music. I really want to do X, Y, and Z. How can you help me? And the way that they approached it was just like, I can help you if you can help me. And at first I'm just like, because, you know, I was younger. So I was just like, oh, he didn't mean it like that. And but when I'm talking to my friends, they're like, no, yes, he did. Did you hear did you hear what he said? So it's just like that side of it is true, especially when you're trying to present something to a man that's a male dominated industry. And you're trying to tell them, like, if a woman is trying to lead something, like, let's say that I'm trying to lead like a project and I'm trying to tell you, this is how I want it. Men don't always take it good as far as a woman telling them what to do.
Oh,
Even
that's
though,
crazy.
even though Beyonce has so many men working under her that are so humble and understand, this is what I need to do, this is my job, every man is not that way. Because especially in South Carolina, sometimes it can be crabs in a barrel.
Okay.
So I've gone through so much where it comes to, just because I'm a woman does not mean I can't say. It doesn't mean I can't have a say, or doesn't mean that I don't know what to do. No, I don't know everything, but I can have some kind of say in this.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
Mm-hmm.
you're a man, that does not mean that I can't lead you in some things too. We're supposed to be in it together. We're
Right.
supposed to be in it together. So yeah,
So,
it's been
so
challenges, but at the same time, I don't let that hold me back,
right,
because I know who I am. God
right.
told me who I am. I know who I am. So it's not, it's been times where I almost did let it hold me back, but I had to learn. I had to learn. This is a male dominated industry, and that's okay. Doesn't mean it's gonna be like that forever, but that's where we at right now.
That's where we at. That's where we at. So
Yeah.
now, with all that being said, what keeps you, motivated and keeps you grounded to say, you know what, I'm gonna stay in here till the wheels fall off, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get where I want to go.
Because I love it. Like I said, since I was a toddler, almost 3, 4 years old, not a toddler, but since I was 3 or 4 years old, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So even though I've had those trial and errors, even though I've had those things that felt like, oh, I'm failing right now, it wasn't that I'm failing. It's the fact that I had to get through things. I had to go through those obstacles. And God held me straight. Like, God kept me on my feet. He said, you keep following me and I'm going to lead you. Even though there's some bumps in the road right now, I'm still getting you to the other side. I gave you these gifts for a reason. And that's one thing my parents have told me growing up in church. You are always told that. And it's not just like a church thing. This is what God teaches us. If I gave you this gift, it's for a reason. Even if in that season that you were upset and you were feeling depressed, even if you weren't using that gift in that season, there was still things that were developing you and molding you in that season that I was taking you through, so that you can get to the point that that gift that I gifted you with, you're going to be able to use it the right way. So I thank God that I've gone through what I have gone through, because now I understand how to use my gift. When I first started rapping, I was cursing really bad. I mean, like a sailor, like a sailor, terribly. And I don't have to do that. And I was told, like, your writing is dope. You're a poet. Your writing is dope itself. It's so many songs that you can listen to, even from Nas. Yeah, he cusses in his music. But Nas is not a sailor when it comes to cussing in his music, and people don't give him that credit. Like, Nas writes more than he does like trying to be trendy or commercial. Commercial is the best word for that. Nas has never tried to be commercial. He's had commercial hits, but he never tried to be commercial. So it's just staying into my love for it and not losing my love for it. Or if I'm feeling like I'm losing my love for it, I need to meditate and I need to go to God so that I can get that love back. Find out what is it that I'm doing wrong that's making me feel that way. So yeah, all of that, because I'm never gonna lose my love for it. So all of that helps me.
All of that. I'm starting to think that going to church every Sunday is a South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina originally. And my mom didn't play about it. You had to get up every Sunday morning and you had to go to church. Period. You had to sing on that choir. You had to usher. You had to do all of that.
Yes.
All of that.
Because it builds you.
Yes.
People, I hate the talk. Let me not say hate. I don't like how people talk about God nowadays when it comes to what's your religion or why are we putting so many different titles on it? Because if you look at what all of these religions that people are talking about, honestly, we are all serving the same God. We all know what the story is. We all know how Jesus got here. Every single religion talks about that. It's just the fact that it's nitpicking how you're going to carry on in life with that specific religion, which is not okay. If we can get an understanding of this is what it is, it just is what it is. Let's do what we're here to do and stop focusing on all of the ins and outs of what you're talking about. We'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
So now I'm going to play your video bounce back to get him a feel of your music and what you sound like, and we'll be right back.
Dope. Let's go.
Real love with no flips. Don't post that, tell me how you feel. It's about us, not a social reel. Keep it, bounce back the mental with no flips. Don't announce that, just cut the shit. Be on prime time, move to the next. Once upon a time, not too long ago, real love wasn't just portrayed in a video. It wasn't prideful to admit that you're a silly hoe. Men was shamed to admit they spent that 40 on that hoe. But here you are, but there you are. Took your lane after hours, no more. Not trying to take us back in time. Power meets respect, I check my rhyme. Intelligence is delayed, wake up quick, get undelayed. It ain't just a phase if you've been on it since high school days. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now. What we doing now, what we doing now. What it look like, what it is. We're talking that real talk, no. What it look like, what it is. We're talking that real talk, no. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now. Yeah, that's that, no filter, all facts, flip that. Move out when you get it, don't just spin it, spin it, spin it. Cause when it comes to handling business, you looking crazy like who did it? You, Mr. Payment got them lashes though. Clocking late before 11, no. What we doing, no, not really what we doing, no. Mourning at all the funerals, to the most so they can go viral. You're a follower, post ignorance to make a dollar. Post your cheeks to get a higher, and the excuse on baby father. Living honestly, so my fingers ain't sticky. I'm not watered down, dying of thirst, but not thirsty. Don't stare into the sun and test light. You'll feel it burning. What it look like, what it is. I mean, what is it? Hey, no, this is high learning. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now. What we doing now, what we doing now. What it look like, what it is. We're talking that real talk, no. What it look like, what it is. We're talking that real talk, no. What it look like, what it is, what we doing now.
Now, you know, we got to talk about the meaning behind that song and what made you write that song.
Yes, so I love Bounce Back because it was so spontaneous. I had just did my song Wake Up, and well, actually, the producer had just made the beat for my song Wake Up, which I put out before Bounce Back. And after he made the beat for Wake Up, he said, "You know what? I feel like making another beat." And I said, "Well, do it. I ain't gonna stop you. Why not?" Dope producer Philip Banks. I mean, one of the best producers in Columbia, South Carolina in general. But he made the beat to Bounce Back. And while he was making it, I started writing it. I was like, "Get back, bounce back to real love and no flex." Like it just came to me straight. And it's actually a subject I've been wanting to talk about, like things that we need to get back to doing. And I don't like being like a preacher, political type of artist, you know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why like I play with my writing so that it can still be entertaining, it can still be relevant, and it can still be a slap in the face sometimes too. Because like a lot of people that actually like you talk about you want to go free before 11 at the club, but you never on time for work.
Oh,
You talking about you got money problems, but your hair always done, nails always done. You got your lashes though, but you not just putting the lashes on. You going to get them done so they can stay on for a whole week. Like
ooh,
it's just like where's the priorities at what we talking about? That's why I said what it looked like, what we doing now. Like
yeah,
what are we doing? You
real
complaining
talk.
and you not even trying to do nothing better with your life.
Wow. See now, I got to swing back and listen to some more of the lyrics, but I kept hearing you saying, "Let's talk about real talk." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to the lyrics of this song because it seems like she's saying a lot of real stuff,
Yeah.
relatable stuff." And you had the afro on. I like the fact you put the afro on in that video too.
Thank God. That's my
Yeah.
real hair too.
What made you do it that way?
Because
Keep it-
I went natural around it was the pandemic when I went natural. I was perm because my mama had three girls. So when she said we perming your hair because the hot comb ain't doing it no more.
Okay.
So I finally went natural. And so when I went natural during the pandemic, I said, this is how I need to be as an artist because that's always been my personality in general.
That's dope.
Just being organic, just being natural. So if I'm gonna display myself and continue to display who I am as an artist, that's gonna be a big part of it. So I'm staying with my fro. And if you don't see me with my fro, it might be like a protective style, some braids, but I'm not gonna put like a whole bunch of weave in my hair because that's not me. It's never been me. So that's
Right.
why, because that's me. That fro is me. It's me. And even though like I still got my natural hair pulled up now, I'm gonna stick to it.
I
I'm
know
not
that.
going back to the creamy crack.
I'm gonna stick beside it. I'm gonna stick beside it. So now you've worked with a lot of legends. I'm not gonna name the names. I'm gonna let you name those names. What lessons have you learned from being side to side and with these legends, and what did you draw from those experiences the most?
Well, when we talk about legends, I have opened for a lot of artists, but I do want to start with the living legend from Columbia, South Carolina, DJ Prince Ice. He's taught me so much. I grew up listening to DJ Prince Ice on the radio. And like I said, he's a legend in South Carolina. But he really, like I was talking about the artist development I've gone through, he really helped mold me. He's taught me a lot that he learned through the industry. He taught me a lot about myself as an artist, how I'm recording, what I'm putting in my music. He's really been hard on me about not cursing too, because he's like, you don't have to do that. So it's just like being a fly on the wall with Prince Ice. Like you'll learn so much, so much, so dope. Um, and with Prince Ice, he helped me to be able to open for Dougie Fresh, which I never thought I would end up doing. Opening for the living legend. Dougie Fresh made the sixth element of hip hop, the beatbox, and to stand in front of this man, and he asked me like Dougie Fresh. I think he might have heard me opening up for him. So when I met him, I was like, "Hey, I just opened up for you." Excited, young. I just opened up for you. I love you so much. He said, "But did you learn something?" And I was like, yeah, not knowing, like thinking at the time, like, So then when Dougie Fresh performed, they were making people get off the stage and everything. But I said, can I please stay on? And it's always that side guy that's with them. He was like, yeah, you can stay on free. He said, it's cool, you can stay on. So me and my brother stayed on stage. Well, by the DJ. So when Dougie Fresh was leaving the stage, he shook my hand. I'm stuttering because I'm getting chills. He shook my hand and he said, "Did you learn something?" And I was like, "Oh, I get it now. I get it now." He wanted me, like I did what I did to open up for him. I got the crowd going. Then Chubb Rock came on after me. Chubb Rock really got the crowd going. So when I went home and thought about that question, did you learn something? And I told my dad said, think about everything that happened from the first time he asked you to the second time he asked you. It was for me to watch those legends and see there's still growth that she needs to learn, that she needs to go through. You're dope. But this how you put this is how you put the show on right here. Cause I mean my performance was dope and everything, but just knowing that the human beatbox made sure that I had a lesson that night, even though he only had just met me, showed me there's something more with my gift. He may not have seen me perform, but he heard it. He heard it because he wouldn't have said that if he didn't have some insight on who I was. Then I opened for Slick Rick. Slick Rick was so dope. He is who he is. Everybody, what he thinks he is who he is. Funny guy, laid back, chill, dope. My sister that just passed away, that was one of her last times seeing me perform, and she got to meet him. And I knew, like I said, I told her all these people that I met DMX. I FaceTimed my sister when I met him. But I told her, I said, I want to get you to meet somebody. So she met Slick Rick. And he was like, gave her a big hug, was loving and everything. So it's just being around the legends. And sometimes the artist is not who you think they are, which really breaks your heart. But the legends I've been around are exactly who we think they are. Just being themselves, just being the pioneers of hip hop and still giving that energy, that love and energy. Like, hey, I just love what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. So another lesson I took from that is never lose your love for it. Because Dougie Fresh has been doing that since before I was born.
Right.
Literally before I was born. So yeah, it's dope being around that energy.
Wow. So now, when the lights go off and the mic is down, what truth about yourself that still remains?
You said what truth about myself? That I'm humble. I'm always going to be humble. I'm always going to be Angel. I'm always going to be Angel. I'm never going to change who I am. When I am by myself, I take time to really think about how my day went. How did I treat people today? Do I need to work on me more about something? So it's always those alone moments instead of it being an idle moment where you let the devil play with your mind. Are you going to let God talk to you in that alone time? Because when you have that alone time and it's just you and him, it's no time like that. Like there's nothing else like that. So soaking into how my day went, how did my week go? What did I say that I needed to work on that I'm still needing to work on? Just like evaluating myself. Because if I don't do that, I can't step in front of these youth and try to preach to them about the steps to take if I'm not even taking the steps on my own.
That's true. Yeah. But you know what? I've learned that, the older I get, the more I realize that I'm not truly owning my days. And I don't think people really understand what I mean when I say that. We have 24 hours a day to do something with our life. And a lot of times we just go through the motions. We don't know that, God didn't have to choose us. He could have chose, somebody else to wake up, but he chose us. He gave us another chance to get it right.
Amen.
So we fumble ourselves when we don't use those 24 hours that he's given us gracefully, his grace and mercy every day to make it right.
Yes, preach.
Preach. So, but it takes time though. It takes time. It takes, your mistakes. It takes you going through things over and over again to finally get the lesson, learn. And then you realize, well, you know what? I wasted a lot of time in my life. Now you're trying to get it right.
Yeah.
So now
it's a journey. It's a journey. And I used to beat myself up about that.
Me too.
And like really, really overthink it as far as I'm not where I want to be, or this person is doing that. This person said I should do that. But like finally getting to a point where this is my mind. This is between me and God. You know what I mean? Like it's hard in this society that we're in now because everything is so quick. Everything is so trendy that even I'm seeing people that I grew up with acting like we still back in high school. And I didn't realize that until the pandemic, where we had to actually sit and see what each other is up to. And it's like, yo, you still acting like me in 2009, and I didn't even notice it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sitting here laughing at all your posts and everything like that. And it's like, no, but wait, you